coming tonight to the 2000 and, where are we, for God's sake? Agenda, here it is, right here. Monday, May 4th, 2026, Planning Board meeting. Thank you all for coming, especially our new players. Thank you. We appreciate you. First, I'll call for the meeting minutes of April 4th, 2026. Everybody's had a chance to read those. Any questions or comments or changes on those meeting minutes? Hearing none, I'd call for a motion.
Motion to approve the minutes as written.
As a motion?
Second.
And a second, thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. Public hearing for Ricky Jervis, conditional use permit application at 44 Sheridan Drive for a proposed commercial vehicle maintenance building, 9,756 square feet, 750 square feet, identified on tax map 1, lot 10-9, zoned industrial land use district. The public hearing is formally open. Thank you, sir. Tell us about your project.
Good evening. I'm Rick Jervis. We purchased the old yellow motor freight in Sheridan Drive, and we want to open up a commercial commercial garage and do maintenance. We have a plan. We stayed within all our boundaries as far as the property line. The site plan that was done there before, we stayed with pretty much where that was, and we didn't disturb anything on the as far as drainage and whatnot. I've talked with Max, and we can easily tap into the water. And I've talked with the Public Works, and we can easily tap into the septic. So we're not disturbing too much with that also.
Very good. We're in public hearing. Any questions or comments from the public tonight about this public hearing? Hearing none, you come with no opposition. That's very good, sir. How about from Zoom? Do we have anybody calling in on Zoom tonight about this public hearing?
There's no one on Zoom.
No one on Zoom, thank you. I'm going to give it a couple minutes in case something. I see your abutters list. Everybody's been notified.
Yes.
Any questions or comments, Nicole, from?
None received at the office.
Okay. Very good. Hearing no questions or comments, we'll close the public hearing and move on to, next item is unfinished business. We have none. And next item is new business, Ricky Jervis, conditional use permit application, 44 Sheridan Drive, proposed commercial vehicle maintenance, 9,750 square feet, identified on tax map 1, lot 10-9, zone industrial land use district. Discussion and decision. Any questions from the board of this applicant here today? Seems very straightforward.
I do have a question for you, Ricky. On the site plan, it shows that the new shop will have a lift station with what's called a building drain line that appears to be... Sorry, Chad. It appears the new building is going to have a lift station with a line that's labeled new building drain line that runs to what I presume is a sewer manhole down at the cul-de-sac area.
Yep.
Is building drain line all wastewater, or is there groundwater, foundation drains, any sump pumps, anything like that that will be feeding in?
Are you talking about the drain inside the shop? There's a holding tank outside of the shop for the bathroom, and we didn't have the pitch obviously with that run, so we had to go with a lift pump to pump in the gray water, and we'll have the solids pumped out by whoever does it locally.
Okay, so you have no plan to connect to the town's sewer system?
Yes, we are connected to the town sewer. with the wastewater or the water from the septic, but the solids won't be pumped, obviously. So it's just I'm gonna have to have the solids pumped by the local, I don't know who does it locally, but the water, it's a lift pump. It's like if you were pumping to a leach field higher, basically.
Right, okay, okay. But the intent is not to have foundation drains or
Right. It's
any
not
sort of
Not
stormwater
stormwater,
being
no.
conveyed to the sewer system.
No, we are gonna put gutters, but I'll have to have that pipe, and I believe in the back, there's a gully, if you wanna call it, that will take the roof water.
Okay.
All set with that, Max?
Yes.
Any other questions or comments from the board on this application?
Has that area been closed, the yellow, when did they move out of that?
How long have
That's
they
gonna
been
be
going?
like 4
Nicole?
years ago, I think.
Yeah,
4 years ago?
quite a
Yeah,
while.
we're keeping that building.
Yeah.
We're gonna trim it up, paint it, make it look nice and stuff,
And then building new buildings?
on the far right.
Okay.
We wanted to put it on the far left, but we started looking at the ground, and I think it's a bit soft there. I'm not sure, maybe you guys can help me out with that. Was that brought-in material? Was that,
Who knows? You could have a soils guy look at it for compaction testing and that
well,
type thing.
I'll have a compaction test with, underneath the slab. I do that kind of work up north. I'm from the county.
Oh, good.
So I understand the soil testing and the compaction test with Whitney out of Stetson, I think he's from.
Okay. Very good.
Ricky, will there be any additional signs added anywhere along Sheridan Drive for this facility?
I'd like to take the yellow motor sign and put my stepson's name on it. And with permission, obviously, from you guys, I'd like to have my name on the sign coming into it from the main drag.
I would just make sure that you are aware that Fairfield does have a sign ordinance, so
Of
just,
height, right?
just make a variety of different requirements associated with it. So before you do any signage work, make sure to check with Nicole.
I wasn't aware, but I mean, I understand it very well.
Yep.
Okay, very good. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, I'd call for a motion.
To move to findings?
Yeah.
Findings of fact. Conditional use findings of fact. Ricky Jervis, located at 44 Sheridan Drive. Application to build a 9,750 square foot commercial building. Tax map 1, lot 10-9, industrial land use. A site plan to scale showing at a minimum location of existing and proposed structures. That was submitted to the planning board with the application. The estimated value of the building is $350,000. Existing topographical contours shown on the site plan with no changes. Proposed grading and contour intervals not greater than 5 feet, again as shown on the site plan. Improvements, 9,750 square feet, commercial building, maintenance garage. Pedestrian and vehicle traffic ways, existing entrance and parking area as existing, as shown on the site plan. Landscape and buffer areas as currently existing. Stormwater and erosion control structures, silt fence to be placed on the site as shown on the site plan. Public water to be supplied by Kennebec Water District, public sewer, power lines, and outside installations of any machineries or materials. Water to be public supplied by Kennebec Water District, and sewer to be connected on-site. Estimate of vehicle trips per day, the developer anticipates 5 to 15 additional vehicle trips per day. This is an industrial land use district, and former owner was a trucking company, Yellow Freight. There will be fewer trips per day than the former occupant. List of names and addresses of abutters for 200 feet. As submitted with the application, letters to the butters were mailed on April 24th, 2026. A statement from Public Works that any proposed improvements to the public roads are adequate and acceptable are submitted with the application. If development utilizes public water and sewer, we talked about it, see the letter from Kennebec Water District. He's explained the water and sewer connections. An erosion control plan by a registered professional engineer as shown on the site plan, silt fence during construction period. Stormwater management plan prepared by a registered engineer, no change in stormwater management proposed at the site. A statement regarding the use, storage, and disposal of any dangerous, toxic, or special or hazardous waste, either solid or liquid or gaseous. A dumpster for regular waste will be placed on site, and there's no other concerns. Findings of fact: 1, the development will not create unsafe or unhealthy conditions within the neighborhood in which it's located. This proposed maintenance garage will be used to maintain commercial vehicles and equipment in the industrial zone and will not create unsafe, unhealthy conditions. The development will not create or add traffic congestions. As described in the application, this existing business site will decrease in traffic from the former occupant. The development will not result in undue reduction of air or water quality. The proposed maintenance garage will not result in the reduction of air or water quality or wildlife habitat and will not cause undue flooding or soil erosion. 4, there are no known identified historic, prehistoric, or archaeological resources on this site. Item 5, the project will not cause an undue strain on public facilities or services. Item 6, the applicant owns the property and has financial and technical capacity to construct the maintenance garage. And 7, the development is consistent with the Fairfield Comprehensive Plan in a designated growth area in the industrial land use district. No waivers requested or granted on this application.
Kevin, there were some conditions of approval recommended. One by the Kennebec Water District, that is, if the parcel is ever subdivided in the future, Kennebec Water District must first approve a plan for providing water service to the newly created parcels. And then 3 from the Fairfield Benton Emergency Services team. Number 1, all construction will follow NFPA 1 and NFPA Life Safety 101 currently adopted standards. Number 2, all commercial property shall have a knock box located at the main entrance to the facility. This box may contain keys for more than one building if the owner would like. And 3, access to the property for fire suppression efforts must be available on all sides of the newly proposed structure.
Is that a box for the keys for the fire department, you're saying? Yeah. Okay. I was on the fire department many years. I'll do whatever they want.
So, Ricky, are you okay with those 4 conditions of approval being
Absolutely.
added? Okay.
Absolutely.
Any other questions or comments about that? Go ahead.
I'd make a motion to accept the proposal as provided to us with those 4 conditions of approval that were listed. Nicole, you should have those.
I did write them
Okay.
down.
Second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Thank you very much. Thank you, Ricky.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll contact you tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay?
Next item on the agenda tonight, KV Cap is bowed out, but we expect them back, Nicole?
Yes, they're coming to your June meeting.
Okay.
They want to discuss adding 3 apartments to 63 High Street, but the engineer just wanted to make sure there were no additional changes being made before he presented it to you.
So is that 3 on top of everything they proposed the last time?
27 the last time. Now they've reconfigured it. What I was informed is it will no longer be for family housing, but 55-plus community.
Okay. Very good. Jevon and Jennifer Owens, owners of lots 26, 27 at the Reservoir Hill subdivision, request for subdivision revision to combine lots 26 and 27 into one 4.38 acre residential lot and remove the center property line. The subdivision is tax map 2, lot 9-26 and 927 in the rural residential land use district. Discussion and decision. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Tell us about your project.
So we bought a double lot. We bought 2 lots next to each other. So we just want to remove that middle divider, because there's a tree buffer too, just so that we can open up a couple acres in the middle and build wherever we want to, basically.
Okay. Questions or comments from the board on this application? Seems very straightforward.
Yeah.
Nicole, you may be able to help us. On the plan provided to us, this looks like it's the end of Easy Street.
It is the end, right where the T turnaround is across from it. So you see it. The larger plan shows it better.
Yeah, no, I think I can see it all right,
Okay.
unless, do you have the original subdivision plan that shows the,
I did not
No,
bring that
okay.
original plan.
because it looks like DW LLC owns, so this abuts the remaining land by
Correct.
DW
Right.
LLC.
DW LLC owns the rest of this.
And then Dan Kissinger owns
Right, all around it.
all around this. Is that another single parcel that he owns multiple parcels
He owns
there?
over 100 acres up there. So Dan owns everything around Bill's land. And Dan's house sits not far from your lot.
It's all around it.
Okay.
Confusion has set in.
Well, I thought Dan lived on another road in town.
He does. His road does not enter from here, but his home sits in this field fairly close to this.
Got it, okay. Yeah, hard to
He's,
orientate myself, I
He's
guess.
This is on the backside of his house, right?
that's
Correct,
correct.
yeah.
Yeah, on the new.
On the new
Because he's
subdivision.
on Sunny Drive. Sunny
Right,
Drive.
exactly.
Right,
And
that's
this
what I was
is
thinking,
coming in
was
the other
Sunny
way.
Drive.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Questions or comments on this application? Hearing none, I'd call for a motion.
Well, you gotta do finding as fact.
Finding of fact again? I don't have the paperwork on that, Nicole.
All right, let me walk it over to you.
No,
I gave it to him.
Okay.
finding of fact, notice of decision, subdivision Phase 2 plan revision. At Reservoir Hill subdivision Phase 2, map 2, lot 9-26 and 9-27 on Easy Street. Fairfield Planning Board has acted on your final subdivision. Findings of fact. Owners of the property is Javon and Jennifer Owens, who have demonstrated legal interest in the property by providing a copy of warranty deed, Somerset County Registered Deeds, Book 6394, page 66. Location of the property is off Norwich Walk Road on Easy Street in Fairfield. Property is not located in the shoreland zone. Property is not in the flood hazard area. The applicant proposes to combine Lot 9-26 and 927 into one house lot containing 4.38 acres on the subject property. Completed Phase 2 subdivision revision plan was submitted on April 23rd, 2026. A public hearing was held on May 4th, 2026. Was it?
Oh, a public meeting, not a public
Okay,
hearing.
public meeting was held on May, very
Sorry.
good. And notice will be placed on the town bulletin board informing the public a meeting to combine Lot 26 and 27. Water is to be supplied by private wells and to supply water to the subdivision. Sewerage is to be disposed of by private surface waste system. Site evaluation for each lot meeting the requirements of main plumbing rules was completed by site evaluator report for test pit supplied in attachment 9, Reservoir Hill subdivision Phase 2, submitted 2025. Stormwater drainage plan as prepared by Derigo Engineering for the DEP site location and development permitting. A large plan has been submitted to site location DEP permit or NRPA Tier 1 permit are approved and are received on the 4th of 4/12/23. Conclusions. Notice of revision was placed on the town office bulletin board and website on 4/24/26. The Phase 2 Reservoir Hill subdivision revision of Lot 26 and 27 shows the proposed lot line removed from the middle of the property, creating one house lot, number 26, containing 4.38 acres. The Phase 2 Reservoir Hill subdivision revision plan for 26 and 27 has been signed by a Maine licensed land surveyor, Edward Lawrence, PLS number 2189, with Boynton and Pickett LLC professional surveyors. Plan and proposed covenants and deed restrictions stamped on the revised plan. Contour lines are shown on the plan. Proposed subdivision revision contains 4.38 acres and combines Lot 26 and 27 into one residential lot. The proposed easy street is shown on Phase 2 of Reservoir Hill subdivision revision plan. The subdivision's open space shown on Phase 2 Reservoir Hill subdivision plan, no changes. Traffic impact analysis as submitted with the original subdivision as shown, no changes proposed by this change. Aesthetic, cultural, natural values, the proposed subdivision will not have an undue adverse effect on the scenic or natural beauty of the area. Aesthetics, historical sites, significant wildlife habitat identified by Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife or municipality, or rare, irreplaceable natural areas of any public rights for physical, visual access to the shoreline. The changes to combine Lot 26 and 27, Phase 2, on the Reservoir Hill subdivision plan will not have an undue adverse effect. The revised plan shows the area of vegetated buffers that will be maintained. Conformity with local ordinances plans, the Phase 2 Reservoir Hill subdivision plan conforms with the duly adopted subdivision ordinance and comprehensive plan. In making this determination, the planning board has interpreted the ordinance and plan. Yes, the proposed revision conforms with the Fairfield comprehensive plan. Financial and technical capacity. The subdivisor has adequate financial and technical capacity to meet the standards of this section. The applicant owns the land and has financial capacity to construct a home. Freshwater wetlands within the proposed subdivision have been identified on maps submitted as part of the application, regardless of the size of the wetlands. Yes, it's on the original plan. River, stream, brook, or any river, stream, and brook within the abutting proposed subdivision has been identified on the map submitted as an application. For the purpose of this section, river, stream, brook has the same meaning as in Title 38, Section 480B, subsection 9. Yes, the original plan. Stormwater. The Phase 2 subdivision plan will provide adequate stormwater management. A stormwater plan detailed was previously submitted to the planning board on the original plan along with DEP permitting. On 4/12/23, obtained a site location development permit from Maine DEP and Land Resources. On 4/12/23, obtained a NRPA Tier 1 permit from Maine Department of Environmental Protection, Bureau of Land Resources, and Army Corps. Municipal boundaries. If the proposed development crosses municipal boundaries, it will not cause unreasonable traffic congestion or unsafe condition. That is not applicable. This parcel of land has not been timber harvested in violation of liquidation harvesting rules pursuant to Title 12, Section 8869, subsection 14. No waivers requested for this revision of lots 26 and 27. Decision. I take a motion.
Motion to accept the revision to the subdivision plan as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and second. All those in favor? Thank you very much. Very good, thank you.
I'll wave at you from my house. We're on Sunny Drive.
Just through the field. So do you want to take a minute and sign, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so we will pause the meeting for a minute.
How many copies? You run with good company, by the way. You know,
How you doing, Kevin?
good, thank you for coming. Next item, items by public. Any items by the public?
Mr. Lorette is here from the public.
Okay,
Thank you, sir. Nicole, I do have updated plans
Okay.
from the surveyor.
Sure, bring them on over. So this is the Long Acres
okay,
subdivision.
yeah, Almost Road.
Yes, so I'm representing Dirigo Engineering is my engineering firm. They represented me last fall when we came and presented this project to you guys. We got conditional approval pending the full survey, which is now complete for phase one. This is phase one. There's 3 phases of the project. It's in total to 25 lot subdivision off 135 right in the center. So this is looking to get full approval for phase one tonight so that we can begin construction in the next couple weeks. I don't know what do you guys have for questions at this time? I know some of the board members are new, so I don't know if you need a bigger overview of the overall plan or what, but.
To recap, we had preliminarily approved that plan 6 months ago, Nicole?
Correct. So typically, you have 90 days to file a plan once it's approved, but we weren't presented the final plan for approval. So tonight, he's presenting his final 4-lot minor subdivision plan for approval.
Do we have a finding of fact for this, or do we not need it?
It's the original one that you reviewed, and I had put it in your packet, I believe.
The notice of decision of the 5th subdivision.
Yep, notice of decision. That was what was approved by the planning board, and that's how it was left.
Conditions of approval.
One of the conditions that was put on this last time you were in front of us, that I was pretty, I guess, concerned with, was the... Oops, sorry, Chad. Was the drainage easement associated with Lot 4. I guess there wasn't an easement at that time, was the meadow buffer number 2. Meadow buffer number 2 on the new plans that you've provided to us is still there, and it still is outside of Lot 4 into the land that's retained by Larissa Larrabee.
Well, that's part of phase 2 is what that's going to end up being.
Sure. And it appears as though on the new plan it shows proposed meadow buffer and proposed drainage easement. Is that easement in place? Because if phase 2 never happens, which we don't know the future,
Sure.
then that meadow buffer that's to the benefit of this subdivision is not part of this subdivision.
Sure, fair enough, yep. So that easement would be put in place on that additional land.
Okay.
I'm purchasing the whole property, minus the solar and Larissa's house, so.
So we had made a condition of approval that the developer must determine if meadow buffer 2 will be incorporated into the 4 lots, or they will need to get an easement from the abutting property.
Okay,
So it appears as though it's not going to be incorporated into the 4 lots, so an easement would be necessary. And on the plans, it does show where the easement area would be. Are you okay with us making a condition of approval that that easement is granted prior to moving forward with this development?
is that something that can happen like this week, or do I have to come back to another meeting?
Well, it'd just be a condition of approval.
Yeah,
and then it's
I'm familiar with the process.
To make sure
so.
that that easement.
Yeah, no,
is-
so we just need to get an easement from Larissa
Yes.
stating that that's fine.
Yep.
Yep, that's too easy.
It's just, it's protective of the subdivision that we're approving here.
And that was meadow buffer 2?
That's meadow
You wanna
buffer
see an
2,
easement?
which is partly in lot 4 and partly in the land not included in this subdivision.
Okay, so understood. You're going to get an easement for that, okay, as a condition.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
And is that like just a form of website, or what does that
No,
entail?
it would be a full legal easement from the landowner, Larissa, if she's still the landowner, for the benefit of the association of this subdivision.
Okay.
When are you closing on all the land?
I hope to have closed already, but it's, buying a 100-acre farm is more difficult than it should be. Hopefully within the next couple weeks.
Okay, so,
But I was hoping to get a building permit tomorrow. So,
Can there be an or then in the condition? If he,
Well, even if he owns it, that's an entity outside of the subdivision.
so he's gonna be granting the easement
To the
then.
sub-
So
To
he's gonna
himself.
grant the easement to the subdivision.
Correct. That's how it would end up being.
essentially, that's, and I think that was kind of part of the discussion last fall, was the land was gonna be mine. So I'm granting it to what I'm building, right?
Right, yeah,
So-
it would just be, it's just the legal documentation to ensure that that item on the plan is there to the benefit of the subdivision.
That should be easy enough.
Right, and we had talked about that last time you were in front of us, and it was the determination whether there would be an easement or the meadow buffer would be relocated to be fully within the boundary of the subdivision. And it appears from the plan that you've chosen to move forward with an easement, it's just that easement isn't executed yet.
Okay.
Any other discussions on this application relative to that? Nicole, on the back page of this finding of fact, there's 8 conditions listed. Are those still all applicable?
I believe so, nothing has changed, it's as it was approved.
Okay.
Although number 2, which is dealing with meadow buffer number 2, is really associated with the determination prior to coming back to us, which you've made that decision, you're moving forward with the easement. It's just now I think we as a planning board should revise that condition to be that the easement must be in place prior to, and I understand you want a building permit tomorrow, and I don't want to hold you up on that, so I would be okay saying prior to an occupancy permit or something like that being issued, as opposed to a building permit.
That seems very reasonable and fair.
I'm fine with that.
Or we could do prior to any lots being sold. That may be safer than an occupancy permit. That way, there's not a risk of somebody purchasing this lot and then not having that item of the subdivision available to them. So is that acceptable to you prior to any lots
Yeah.
being sold?
Yeah, and my plan is to sell finished houses, so,
Okay.
again, but I get things changed, so I'm
Are you
perfectly
building
fine.
on speculation with this first permit?
Say again?
Are you building on speculation for this first building permit?
The only thing we've started is we've put in the access road to get to the first lot.
Got that, but
Yeah.
you mentioned you're getting a building permit soon. Is that building permit for a sale of an owner, or is it a build on speculation?
A spec house. yeah.
Spec house.
Yeah.
We will move on to finding of fact.
Excuse me,
Yep.
you already have your findings
Yeah, we
of
do.
fact, we're just here for signature, you just needed to discuss and look at the plan presented to you. You had already
Okay,
done all that.
so all of these conditions are still in force because
Correct.
nothing has changed.
But we're revising number
We're revising
2
number 2.
Gotcha. Very good, that would be taken care
in
of
place before the lot is sold.
before the lot is sold. Fine. So there's nothing else here that has changed.
Nothing that I'm aware of at this time.
And this is phase 1 of 2 phases?
It's
or-
3 phases total.
Okay.
Phase 2 consists of 11 additional lots, and then phase 3 is, whatever that math is, 10, I think.
Okay.
And I think we can strike number 7 as well. We had put a condition, the developer is to get clarification on the correct number of subdivision lots represented on this Long Acres Estate subdivision plan. There was discussion after that last meeting that it is a 4-lot subdivision. So I think I would be okay with striking number 7 because it's really irrelevant at this point.
Okay, I will remove it.
So are we voting to authorize building permits for him? Is that what we're doing?
We're voting to approve this four-lot subdivision.
I think we're
Phase
just signing, we're not
Correct.
voting on anything.
Right, we're just
We as a-
reviewing what they had
We as
previously
a planning
approved.
board, I feel like, at least I'm getting the sense we're collectively in agreement to strike condition 7 and modify condition 2.
Okay,
Yeah, that you're going to grant the easement to the HOA once you finalize purchase,
Prior to
Prior to-
selling
prior to
any
sale
lot.
of the property.
You want to take a vote on those two items so that I
Yeah,
can?
let's
okay.
do that so we can have that in notes. I would make a motion to modify the prior approved conditions of approval to revise number 2, that the developer must obtain an easement from the adjacent landowner for the portion of meadow buffer number 2 outside of the subdivision for the benefit of the subdivision, and then strike condition number 7, which was the developer is to get clarification on the correct number of subdivision lots represented on this Long Acres Estate subdivision plan.
Motion
Second that.
seconded. Oh,
motion
sorry, go
and
ahead.
second. All those in favor? Thank you very much.
Now sign.
Sign it, baby.
All right, so we'll pause the meeting again. Okay, we did receive a notice from one of the abutters at number 12 Ohio Hill Road that they did not like the screening required for the solar. So And I didn't know if they were an owner, I didn't recognize the name, it wasn't on the deed, but apparently the person that requested has a life estate on that property. So there's a deed, and embedded in the deed, accepting and reserving a life estate for the woman that wrote in.
Said in the paperwork, long-term tenant. I wonder what that meant.
Yeah, so she has a
I guess life estate is long-term,
I
yeah.
guess so, she's there for life.
Right, for her life.
Right, correct. So she's asking, and that particular property owns that square that abuts the entire field. So like all the screening would need to come down to, you know, it wraps around, her property line wraps around the entire border of the solar.
Who removes it?
That would be on the solar company. It wouldn't be the town or anything. We wouldn't touch it. But everybody else that lives across the street or up on the hill that has direct visual of the solar field. Certainly the gentleman that just left, he's building his houses south of it. They're gonna get full view of the solar field because we didn't add any protections from that direction. So,
Is 12 Ohio Hill, is that Larry's house?
it's Larry's house, but this Linda Daigle is a leaseholder. So in his deed, because I went back and checked to make sure it was there, it said accepting reserving a life lease to Linda Daigle. Also in the deed. So she is legitimately asking as having rights to
Right.
that.
You pull your mic closer to the hole.
Oh, sorry.
So she wants the privacy part of the fencing taken down.
She wants it removed. She wants to be able to see the solar and see through it and see the field beyond it. And I guess the houses that Bryant is going to build beyond it.
We had approved this plan with some evergreen plantings along the border. Have those been completed yet?
I have not seen the plantings, and it's still early in the season, so I haven't reached back. I wanted to talk
Okay.
to the planning board and get the pulse of the board.
So am I being obtuse, or is, once these evergreens actually grow, is that not going to be the effective same thing?
I think they'd be a maintenance item for the solar company to maintain them to be shorter, not let them grow too tall.
Okay.
But they will grow wide and
Right.
eventually block it.
Yeah, we only do this for the abutting owner, not, they don't, some abutters don't want to look at solar panels. You know, we've been through this.
Correct.
Others, okay, we'll put a buffer zone. This one, don't want the buffer zone screening, so I don't have a problem with it. They have to look at it, so.
The property, this Linda Daigle did say, I am writing to request you remove the privacy screening currently installed on the separation fence between their properties. She's not saying anything regarding vegetation.
Correct.
So I would say
Leave the
that
vegetation.
leave the vegetation requirement in place. I mean, I agree, I have seen this privacy paneling, and it's not what I expected, but. so,
Right, because we
I'm not-
expected green slats,
Yeah.
and then they went with a green mesh, and now it looks black,
It
but
looks black to me. And
Maybe
I
it's
can understand why the
dark
property owner adjacent to it would be unpleased. So I would propose we say yes to removing the mesh, but not removing the requirement of the buffer vegetation unless we get a written request from Linda.
So did Ms. Daigle get a visual representation of what this thing was gonna look like prior to us approving this for this commercial company?
yes, all abutters receive notification in the mail when there's plans in front of the board, and I always include, if we've been provided a sketch plan, I also send it. And then they're all public meetings, they can attend and notify the board, yes, no. And other solar sites, as Max has mentioned, and Kevin, they have been vocal on, we want bigger buffer strips and,
So this has gone through a public hearing, it's been approved, she had the opportunity to voice her displeasure at this, and now that it's been approved and these companies spent their money on an approved project, we're now telling them that they need to go back and remove it because she doesn't like it? Is that what we're saying?
That's pretty much it.
well,
Yeah,
it's part of the conditions of approval. She
Right.
can.
What's
Like,
that?
It's part of the conditions of approval.
That she could ask, unless
Yeah.
an abutter wants it removed.
Yep.
Oh,
Then the
okay,
company-
I'm not seeing that part, I'm
Oh,
missing it.
yeah, it's number 3.
Where is it?
Number 3 of
Number
the
3.
conditional use permit, yeah, that was from back in September.
Unless there was objection to it.
Yep. If
And
an abutting property.
the company signed off on that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Let's do it. Be done with it.
And quite frankly, the company will probably be happy to remove it. That way they don't have to maintain it, because we also said that that has to be maintained forever.
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm. So-
expensive.
And if it doesn't look good and it's black, it should be removed anyway.
yep.
So do you want to make a motion
Yeah,
on that?
because it does say it must be green.
I make a
It's
motion that
not.
it be removed, or this lady's thing get accepted, however you say it.
The mesh on the
The
fence,
mesh on the
not the
fence.
vegetation.
Not the
Okay.
vegetated buffers. Have
So
a
remove
motion,
mesh as requested.
I'll second that.
motion and a second. All those in favor? There goes the fence. Thank you.
Yeah.
Got it.
Anything else, Nicole?
Well, as far as the housing guidance, I gave you the documents that are now what we're going to be working with. KV COG is going to review everything that has just become law in April, and they're going to set up some meetings with the planning board to start work on the ordinances. And so we have the housing piece that we have to work on in our land use ordinance. Michelle also asked that we add in the land use ordinance, when we're revising it, a section for chickens and maintenance of chickens, because it's getting to be an issue in the urban residential, the downtown built-up area. People letting the chickens roam free range, and also bringing roosters in the downtown area that are very noisy. So she wants something pulled into land use, so we can work on that when we work on the ordinance. I just wanted to mention it.
And this is our shot to update land use and subdivision as much as we want.
Correct. That's my understanding. Yeah, we've got a year, Michelle said, to comply and use the grant money that we've been given.
So
Do we have-
what's the process on this? Like, how does this work? Going through all this? 'Cause
So
It's a lot.
KV COG will work with us to make sure that our ordinances are updated to be compliant with state law. Then we as a planning board will recommend to the town council the changes, and then the town council will approve those changes.
So are we gonna start having an item on the agenda that takes care of so many different sections of this per meeting?
Well, it won't be the same night as planning board, so
Right,
it'll be
additional.
additional meetings. This is how we approached it 3 years ago in '23, when we had to do it last time. The state came up with new regulations.
Okay,
So basically, they're informing towns that what you have for your land use regulations is not working. We need more housing stock, and this is how they're approaching it.
so we're gonna set up a separate meeting to start reviewing these.
Correct, once we have our professional planner on board.
We could do it the same night if it's more convenient than coming in a separate time.
Which
Because a lot of these
is really-
meetings, they
yeah.
don't take long.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Compared to some of the other ones I've been to.
It's all business.
We also have to we have to work around KV COG's schedule too. And I
That's
thought at the
right.
last meeting, it was
Right.
Tuesdays that,
That's when she's available, because she works for many communities throughout Somerset, Kennebec,
So it's around her schedule.
around her schedule, and Tuesdays seem to be best
So do
for
we
her.
know when this is gonna start?
I do not know.
Okay.
No. She needs time to review all of these laws and understand how they're going to get incorporated into
Yeah, I would think so.
everyone's ordinances.
Now, we went through this 2 years ago. Are we jumping the gun? Should we wait a year till the next legislature closes and changes it all back again?
Well,
So
we
can get-
can't,
We
because
can't, yeah.
developers will be coming forward to exercise their new legal rights.
And then we just say, well, check with your legislature because, you know, they're changing them all the time and we'll enforce what the new laws are. But I hear you, but it's a little frustrating for you because you have to interpret and enforce, okay? And the legislature, on a whim, can say, okay, we want additional housing units, you can put your mother-in-law in the attic or whatever. And that's what they're basically doing, right?
They're increasing density.
Yes.
And decreasing parking requirements. So a lot of things in our ordinance are no longer going to jive
Right.
with this, so.
So developers really need to be real specific on their deeds to block the legislature from changing their subdivisions the way they wanted them.
Mr. Lorette did that on his, and so have the most recent subdivisions that have come before the board. They're very specific in their covenants that they're not to be further divided.
That's right.
No additional dwelling units, no home businesses. They're very specific. So if you buy into this subdivision, you understand that it will always be a single-family home.
And the legislature can't change that.
Correct, because it's his
by deed.
land and he has a right to put those
Right.
restrictions.
Gotcha.
But all the other subdivisions that were ever approved that never got that,
Are subject to change.
Or lots that are not part of the subdivision.
correct.
Right.
Well, please do keep us posted, Nicole.
I will.
on
I'll do my best.
The availability of KV cog.
So they'll notify us when she's available and when she's...
And I'll broadcast it to everyone.
That's fine. Okay. We
And
gotta-
it's not mandatory, it's participate as you can, when you can. I mean, she likes people giving her feedback. If the feedback comes via email, sorry, I can't make it, but here are my thoughts on this particular
But what
section.
feedback can we give her on a legislative mandate?
Well, we're also looking at updating, because our subdivision ordinance has a lot of things that we need to update.
Like the chickens?
Well,
Well, that's land use, yeah, but,
But we've been
Okay.
looking for an update to the subdivision ordinance, and this
Right.
is our chance to work with KV cog to get that
But the
complete.
point is, this legislative paperwork, they made it law. Okay, our opinion almost doesn't matter, correct?
well, it has to match what they want us to.
And we need-
They, the
They
legislature.
may have a law, but we need to incorporate the law into our town. And so what we're doing is looking at the law, now we're going to implement it within town and then writing it up that way. That's what we have to do.
And we as citizens should be driving how it's updated in our ordinances, not KV cog. They're there to support us.
And the town could be less restrictive than state law. You can't be more restrictive, but you certainly, if you feel that you want way more development than what this is allowing, which this is
Well,
allowing,
that's their minimum, yeah. Well, I don't think anybody wants,
more crowding,
that's right.
probably not.
I feel bad for the older subdivisions like Military Avenue, that these people bought a house, tiny lot. My grandfather built them in the 40s, and now there is no deeded restrictions on those. That wasn't fashionable in the 40s. And now it seems to affect the value of those investments because there's additional dwelling units next door and across the street and all of that. Does it not affect the value of these homes?
It may, over time, I don't know.
Okay. Great.
That's all I had.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Oh, well, I'm supposed to ask if any members have anything to say first.
I did, I had one thing.
Okay, go ahead. Oh,
Which is what
I get it now. That's your members thing. Make a motion. Okay. Have a motion?
Second.
Second. All those in favor? Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thanks, Chad.